recommendations for your playlists when you join Spotify Premium. Or start a jam, where you can invite your friends to create and add to shared playlists, all with unlimited skips and repeats. Tap the banner to learn more.
Hello? Alright. Was I muted the whole time? Yeah, I guess. Nice. So, alright, cool. I spent half the stream talking to nothing. Great. Oh boy, what do I do here? Do I just restart? I don't even know. Let me go to... Oh man, that sucks. You know what? I guess I'll just do a brief recap on everything that I talked about. I'll try to be quick with it because, you know, I just spent half an hour talking about nothing. Thanks so much, Dog with Hoodie, for letting me know. Great. Low quality. Awesome. Love it. Can I go back? So what did I talk about? Man, really? I spent so much time talking about nothing. I talked about Bitcoin's price. I mentioned that we're expecting Bitcoin to drop as low as 106,000 worst case scenario because of liquidation heat map. That's what I was trying to show over here. How far do I have to scroll here? I think you guys could probably rewind as well. I was checking that out because I'm like, what is going on with the audio? It says that it's not a recommended bit rate or something like that. Anyway, yeah, 106,000 is floor for Bitcoin. I guess, bottom line. Most of the other altcoins was just, you know, they're staying the same. No big change there. What else do we got? What did I talk about? Downtrend is still going. My order barely didn't get filled, right? You can't send a dono yet, Dog with Hoodie, no. Because I need some stupid requirement that I need on YouTube, like 4,000 watch hours. Oh, really? Yeah. Hey, I might... I've also been looking into multi-streaming, right? Talking about other ways to expand the channel. Yeah, I could probably do multi-streaming. Otherwise, I'd need like 1K subs on YouTube to get the channel monetized, and then something else to enable stream donations. I think it's a certain amount of watch hours. That's what it is. Yeah. I mean, I could accept, I guess, on if I send my address. I don't know which coin you want to donate with. If you want to donate like that, I can send an address that you can send crypto, I guess. That's what we're streaming here for. Crypto is literally peer-to-peer transaction stuff, so it's meant to replace this global financial institution, you know, stuff. Anyway, what else did I talk about? Overall, Bitcoin was in an uptrend. I drew a Fibonacci, right, to kind of determine the 106 level from April 7 to our all-time high, right? And it showed decent supports, right? 106,000 is first support that we were approaching, and we should be oversold. I'm muted again, are you sure? My mic still shows that it's here. Are you sure I'm muted again? Let me know if you can hear. Why am I muted? What is going on? Hold on. Am I actually muted again? What is happening? Oh, okay. Weird. What? Everything is giving me issues. Anyway. Yeah, 106,000 important support, bottom line for Bitcoin if you care, and 116,000 resistance. Of course, we have some more immediate ones close by, but the most major one, it would be the one where the downtrend is 116,000 to look out for Bitcoin. Rest of altcoins kind of doing fine themselves. I guess you could probably see what I talked about with Putin, the China war, the trade war that's going on. Not a war, like a trade war, right? That's still, the tensions are there. That is why we had a liquidation today. People are over leveraging again, so that had to all be flushed out. I talked about, yeah, the Putin phone call that happened today. It seems like Trump will be sending his top officials to meet with Russian officials next week. He's going to be hosting Zelensky at the White House tomorrow. And they're going to be discussing what was discussed on the phone call today with Putin. And Trump will actually meet up with Putin after the high officials do their thing in Hungary. I forgot the city name already. That's crazy. But yeah, that's basically a quick summary of what's been going on. And the fact that gold has been hitting all-time highs, I don't know if I showed this or I was... Yeah, we had crazy wicks going on. PaxG, Paxos is going crazy, minting $300 trillion yesterday, and now we have these huge wicks on its gold price, going down to 3,600 from 4,000, and then, you know, also going up to 4,790, 4,800 on Bybit. What is going on with PaxG? Do I even have this here? I think I do. Does it show the same wick? It does. That's crazy. What is Pax doing? Oh boy. Anyway. Gold seems to be rising as if, you know, people are still expecting a World War III to happen. I don't know what a lot of people are expecting, but it's getting pretty crazy. And Peter Schiff, of course, is, you know, memeing on us at this point, thinking that gold is likely to hit $1 million before Bitcoin will ever do so. And that's just not likely. Bitcoin just has to 10x to hit $1 million. And it has such a much lower market cap, and it's easier to buy Bitcoin. For gold, you have to 20x the market cap, an already huge market cap, to hit $1 million. So this statement is just clearly false. Debunked, Peter Schiff. He also says things are getting serious. Gold at 4,370. It could hit 4,400 tonight. That's a 10% move in just 1 week. Something big is about to happen. This is like the Michael Saylor of gold, right? He's just, you know, laughing at the Bitcoin charts. He's also saying that it looks like a massive head and shoulder pattern, which means that Bitcoin is meant to crash over here. All right, pal. Well, we'll see about that. De-dollarization. Gold is eating Bitcoin's lunch. Bitcoin is now down 32% priced in gold. That is factual and a bit scary as well to think about. If you look at Bitcoin priced in gold, the chart does not look like we're seeing it with USD, of course. USD is trash fiat coin, and we're hitting all-time highs on that. That's totally fine. But with gold, it's like making lower highs and lower lows. So Peter Schiff does have a point there, I guess. And that's all really I want to cover about him. And just to give you the perspective on how big gold is right now, it's adding $300 billion to its market cap practically every day. We're seeing this like huge explosive growth on gold. I talked about this chart already, so I'll move on. Let me go to the gold chart over here. I mean, oh my gosh, don't even look at a weekly chart. This just looks unnatural, right? Up and to the right forever is what it seems like. Yeah, almost hitting 4,400. But we're still, you know, every week has been green for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. Crazy. Whoever's into gold right now, you're having a great day. They are basically adding 1 Bitcoin worth of market cap every week. Bitcoin's market cap is 2 trillion, 2 point something trillion. I could find the exact numbers. Leave company's market cap. Yeah, gold is at 30 trillion market cap. That is crazy. We were always looking at gold at 20 trillion market cap, right? And Bitcoin would have a 2 trillion market cap. Still has 2 trillion. And the math that I was doing is, okay, for Bitcoin to go from 2 trillion to where gold is at 20 trillion back then, that's just a 10x difference. So you just 10x the price. If you 10x Bitcoin's price, which is 100,000, 100,000 times 10, that's $1 million. Bitcoin just has to 10x or reach the same market cap as gold to be worth $1 million, right? Well, now the bar is set much higher because gold just keeps on rising. And hey, even if Bitcoin does reach this market cap, we'll be well over $1 million. Like, that fundamental has not changed. But I'll admit, Bitcoin is lacking. It's lagging behind. It's not lacking. But, you know, 30 trillion. Wow. I guess congratulations, gold. There's no denying that it's been doing really good. And the fact that it's been adding 300 billion to its market cap practically every day, adding an entire Bitcoin market cap in every week is what it seems like. People are always been saying, you know, even with Bitcoin's chart, you know, how high can we go? Where is the money going to come from, bro? Don't understand how most people cannot see that as soon as gold stalls, Bitcoin is going to rip. It is the most obvious rotation stunt from big money. Bitcoin is being held on purpose so that big money can run up gold and rinse it for as much as they can, at the same time as shaking out every single crypto holder and getting them to FOMO sell their bags to chase gold and stocks. And then they'll top out of gold using the normies as exit liquidity and then rotate into and pump Bitcoin, basically. And we're seeing this, by the way. Normies buying gold. Before I talk about this, I'll talk about here. Here's huge lineups in Hong Kong, people lining up to buy gold. This is a top indicator, guys. When retail investors are lining up to buy gold, you know, they're literally doing the meme, guys. And I think this is in like Australia, I think. Huge lineups to buy gold. Like, why was nobody there to buy it when it was 1,800? We're going to see the same kind of thing, the same kind of mindset. And this is why a lot of people lose money in these markets. They want to buy when, you know, market is doing... Okay, are you not going to show me the chart? Okay, cool. I guess I'll just take the time and stop my point to pull up the chart. People want to buy this, right? They're like, oh, look at the gold right now. I want to buy gold. It's going to go up forever. No, it won't. Eventually, it'll come a time where it starts crashing, coming down. You're the exit liquidity. And then, you know, things start crashing again. And it's, you know, there's other fundamentals as to why gold is also rising. And these should also translate into why Bitcoin should be rising, but it is not. We're getting rate cuts. Quantitative tightening is ending. Gold is intergalactic top near. We got peace in the Middle East. There's probably a China deal coming by the looks of things. I don't think, well, I wouldn't like to think that come November 1st, we are going to be putting 100% tariffs on China. I'm hoping for a taco, right? Trump always chicken out. Or, you know, an actual genuine trade deal happens by then. Some analysts say it's unlikely to see that happen, so expect the worst always. My advice to you. But yeah, and all this talks with Russia, with what I just mentioned, how they're going to be meeting up with the officials, meeting up in Hungary, right? And Zelensky meeting tomorrow. Maybe we're getting a Russia deal coming. Also talks with trade with Russia. And of course, Bitcoin is dumping on all of this news. Like, doesn't deserve to. I still think we got it in us to continue rising. What can stop gold from rising? Fort Knox audit. That never happened. It was all talks back in when Elon Musk was in office. You know, with the Doge thing. Is like, hey, what happened to all the gold in Fort Knox? Do we still have that? Can we audit it? Can we live stream the audit to ensure all the gold is still there? The gold reserves. Yeah, no. None of that just happened, so that's all pushed to the side. Anyway. Here's just a little funny thing from Steak and Shake if you care. 5 months ago, they accepted Bitcoin payments, and in celebration, they were launching a Bitcoin steak burger. You can go to Steak and Shake and enjoy them while they last. There you go, a free advertisement. But it's good. They're supporting the Bitcoin community, accepting Bitcoin payments at this restaurant. So cool, good stuff. Here's a question made to AI about if you had $10,000 to allocate in this fourth quarter and you're expecting a maximum return, what are you buying? Good question to ask, right? What's the best, probably the best asset that's going to be outperforming everything? And AIXBT actually said that the hype ecosystem is on the move right now. Hyperliquid. And I agree. Hyperliquid, I was saying this while I was muted, I guess. Genuinely good project. I couldn't find necessarily any specific floors on Hyperliquid. Oh my gosh. You guys missed out on my whole entire technical analysis portion. You just see me moving charts around and drawing lines while I yap into the void. But anyway. Once again, thanks Dogwood Footy for letting me know. Better late than never. Whatever. So yeah, top performer, according to AI, might be Hyperliquid. Not financial advice, of course. Don't make a decision based off of that. But I just humbly agree. Hyperliquid will do well for this fourth quarter. We'll see though, if it actually pulls it off. We'll come back to this and maybe laugh at myself if I was wrong. I'll allow it. Aster guy, Alex, says that if Aster puts a prediction market on their decks, it is over. Sure. And CZ also commented on it. Wow, this guy's clearly just He's riding the BNB wave so hard that he even gets attention from CZ himself. So he says that my advice to them was to make the current product really, really good first. We're talking about Aster. Make Aster as good as possible, right? There's no need to rush into more products. Ecosystems are not built in one day. But he didn't rule out the fact that this could come in the future. Prediction markets on Aster, on a decentralized exchange, right? That would be pretty good. So we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. Speaking of prediction markets, Polymarket. They have a poll out of Bitcoin's odds. What's going to hit first? 130,000 in October or 95,000? And it's looking like people are opting for 95,000 first before we hit 130,000. That's not good. What's wrong with the sentiment, people? Anyway, 13% chance of 95k versus a 10% chance of 130k. I'm 130k, gang. I don't think we're dropping to 95. Worst case scenario, even if we do drop 96,000 for Bitcoin, will still be fine, as crazy as that sounds. Reason I'm saying that is because of the weekly super trend, sorry. Basically has been a good indicator in my opinion. A bad example here, but let me go to a USDT chart to show you more historical data. Ever since 2023, we've been using that as basically like this support to figure out if we are or are not in a bull market. And it seems like even up to this point, we still are, as long as we remain above 96,000. Here's the Fibonacci I drew, by the way, from April 7 to all-time high. 100,000, of course, important support level, and then 106,000, basically where all the liquidations, this is all coincidental, but yeah, the liquidations that I showed on that liquidation heat map chart, they all disappear at 106,000. There's no longs to be liquidated at those prices. So I'd say, like, if we are to see a drop, that's as low as we're going to go. 106,000. That's where I'd put my money on. That's why I have an entry at 107,000, just from doing other math, trying to figure out where to put the best price. I was close, but not close enough, clearly, because price literally bounced off of right where I had my limit order. I was off by $50. I was complaining about that to the void at the beginning of the stream. But yeah. So we'll see if this ever happens. I don't trust prediction markets that much. They were clearly wrong about Kamala Harris and Trump, right? Anyway, it's all based off money, how much money you put. This came out as well. Robinhood listed Aster, Plasma, and Virtual. Now available to trade on Robinhood. You can buy them on spot. Cool. Plasma is getting some love, but it has no reflection on the price today. Matter of fact, it is crashing 10%. That's something I explained as well in my thing over here. Highly inflationary coin, by the way, but genuinely good project. And very volatile. Good for short-term trading. I wouldn't stay in it for too long. Otherwise, that's just suicide. You're asking to lose your money here. Buy when it's oversold. Get out of there as soon as possible, even if it's not really overbought. That's kind of the lesson that I learned over here. I bought Plasma. Perfect entry, by the way, like around over here. It rose up to here. I did not take profit. I was expecting price to, you know, go past over this. I guess I was expecting too much from Plasma at that time. And then it did this thing, right, where everything crashes. So I missed out on that one, but I've learned it. I've learned the lesson. And we'll move on from it. This is interesting. Michael Saylor reportedly, filmed an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday in Austin, Texas. Big if true. We'll see if Joe Rogan releases that. Of course he's going to release it, but did this actually happen? That's what we're not too sure. There's reports that it did happen. So, MicroStrategy is trending. Nothing that has to do with Joe Rogan though, but I will be watching that if that is the case, if that episode does come out. That'd be huge. Big for exposure, of course. Joe Rogan, hugest podcast platform. Yeah. This is funny. It just made me laugh out loud. An address with a balance of 10 million USDT So $10 million just got frozen on Ethereum's chain. Okay, cool. And okay, what is this? What is this AI yapping about over here? If an address with over 10 million USDT got frozen, it's almost always due to law enforcement intervention or strong on-chain evidence linking it to illicit activity. Tether's ability to freeze funds highlights their centralized control. It's good for compliance, but it means holders could get caught up even from secondary trades. So it's not really decentralized, bottom line, on Tether. Big picture. It hasn't shaken the peg, but it's sparking real debate over centralized control in the stablecoin market. Trading volume is down. Price holds steady at $1. The social chatter is elevated. There's compliance versus censorship is the key narrative. This AI just keeps yapping over here. Here it is. USDT, show more. Remains steady near peg despite fresh chatter around freeze events. Okay, you're just repeating the same thing like in 20 different formats. Likely tied to law enforcement or KYC violations given the substantial sum involved. The blacklisting events are generally triggered by Tether's admin wallet to halt suspicious flows. Interesting. So we don't know exactly who this belongs to or what it was for, but I'm sure Tether has a reason of freezing those funds there. I wanted to also talk about this. And I don't know if this is specifically related to it. They both have Ethereum here, but I don't see any mention of Tether. There is a hack alert. Typus Finance on SUI was exploited for $3.4 million. I think this is the second time that a SUI product has been hacked or exploited. The first one was Cetus, and that happened a couple months ago. I covered that. Now it's Typus. Stolen funds were bridged to Ethereum via CCTP. It was swapped to DAI, another stablecoin, I'm pretty sure, and it's currently held at this address. The attackers' Ethereum wallet was funded from BNB chain via a cross protocol. The BNB sender address, it was initially funded by Tornado Cash 13 hours ago. Okay, cool. And here's the official statement from Typus Finance. Urgent security announcement. So approximately an hour ago at 10 a.m., our TLP contract was exploited via an Oracle vulnerability regarding a lack of authority checks. To protect all users, all Typus smart contracts have been immediately paused, actively investigating with emergency support from SUI Foundation, and we'll share updates as soon as we have them. And yeah, why are they not using Chainlink as the Oracle? What? I wonder what they're actually using. Was there any updates? I do want to check. No updates. Crazy. So that's still ongoing. Good luck. Trade perps and options with real yield. That's what this company does. I've never heard of Typus. So there you go. This was a big issue as well. I explained this while I was muted. Pump.Fun is crashing 11%, and I purchased it because I feel like it deserves to be purchased, and we're still crashing. That's crazy. I didn't buy the best price. Whatever. Pump.Fun CEO A1 Lon 9. He has been detained in Madrid, and he will be facing charges in the US. And Fox News was reporting on this as well, basically slandering Pump.Fun. Mainstream media will try anything to stop us from making out of the hood. Bullish on Pump.Fun. Yeah, so am I. I was explaining that, you know, Pump.Fun, even if, like, who cares about if memes are... No, sorry. Who cares about if the CEO is getting arrested, or if there's a lawsuit in New York, or, you know, any of that stuff. If meme coins are hot, Pump.Fun will pump, right? And like I said, genuinely good project on Solana chain. Solana is also very important, very genuinely good project. So that's why I'm willing to enter Pump.Fun at this price right over here. Buying when there's blood on the streets. Oversold right now. I think it's I don't think it's a good idea, but I'm doing it anyway. No risk, no reward. I put not too much in here, so we'll see what happens with it by the end of it. Great. Canada news. Federal government will introduce new legislation around bail reform aimed at keeping violent criminals and repeat offenders off the street. Please and thank you. We just literally had a recent jewelry store robbery near me, and I'm like, you know what? It's not even safe in what I thought was a safe city, or little town that I live in. So, Yeah, no, none of it's safe. Get those guys in jail forever, please and thank you. And they're just 15, 16-year-olds literally robbing jewelry stores. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, this is funny, made me laugh. A study has shown that being rude to AI chatbots results in more accurate answers. Researchers at Pennsylvania State University found that impolite prompts consistently outperform polite ones. So if you want the best response from ChatGPT, just bully it. I feel like it will give you the best answer. I feel like this is all going to come and bite us all in the ass in the future when when AI inevitably takes over the whole planet and we are the slaves to AI. They'll be like, hey Matthew, remember on October 16 at 10 p.m., you just said we should bully AI. Oh, how the turns have tabled, haven't they? And then, I don't know, I'll just get executed or something. We'll see. And this was the big thing I was teasing yesterday that I wanted to share with you guys. Trader insights. Very important stuff to look out for. A lot of it is redundant, repetitive information that I have already discussed. Things on what happened on October 10. It says 11 because they use Singapore time, I think. But yeah, Singapore, you would have been one day in the future. But it happened on October 10, 5 p.m. Big retaliatory tariff threat from Trump and the financial sanctions against China, rare earth export restrictions, the canceled meetings, the $19 billion liquidation event. Everything crashes and rebounded, and altcoins averaged a 70 to 9% drawdown, right? We have good institutional signals, though. Fidelity Wealth allocated 1% to Bitcoin ETF, Hong Kong. Oh yeah, and the $75 billion in crypto assets that were illegal crypto assets will probably be part of the government reserve, which I also discussed yesterday. Liquidation, I guess we're sick and tired of hearing about all that. Whale activity monitor that happened during that time. This was interesting. I can't zoom in too much, actually. Sorry. Can I get rid of this? I can. Okay, here we go. These are all supposed to be the same date, basically. The only insider trading suspected was a Bitforex co-founder wallet who opened shorts 3 days early and profited $200 million in that big liquidation event. Maybe he had the tariff news leaked. I don't know though. 3 days. Oh boy. 3 days before the liquidation event, getting news that the tariff thing was happening. No, I doubt that because I only learned about the China rare earths thing the day of, that same Friday in the morning when Trump tweeted out about it. It's like, what is this China doing, sending letters to all these countries about rare earth minerals, trying to monopolize it all? That's not good. We're going to have to respond with something. Nobody knew that it was going to be with tariffs. And then the tariffs got announced after markets closed, of course. Markets closed at 4. Announcement came out at 5. Huge liquidation, right? So I doubt that. World Liberty Finance, I would have suspected that somebody inside World Liberty Finance knew, obviously related to Trump and the Trump family, the Trump project, sold off early, causing an initial liquidation that happened because they probably knew that Trump was going to put the tariffs. And then they actually happened. Another drop worth World Liberty Finance. Although this whale longed and of course lost. Questionable timing. Other addresses, just whales shorting, taking profits. I guess some of them may have gotten lucky, but I don't know. Still worth taking a look at nonetheless. Trend insights. So we had the post-liquidation anti-fragility premium, Binance Smart Chain meme ceiling breakthrough. The perps, DEX, that stuff's still happening. I think that's all really for here that's important. Things to look out for: the Trump tariff threat, which triggered the $19 billion liquidation. That already happened. Hyperliquid whale suspected insider trading, opening a short 3 days early, profiting $200 million. Probable. Which we did talk about, by the way. We didn't really figure out who profited off of that, but, you know, we had posts from Quiver Quantitative saying, hey, if we notice any congressman or woman, you know, making profits, specifically $200 million richer, we'll let you guys know. So we'll see. Nothing else really important over here. $75 billion illegal crypto assets we talked about. Aster, $1.3 billion token unlock. That's happening tomorrow, by the way. October 17. Every 17th of the month. Might make Aster drop lower. I've not talked about Aster too much, but it is at really painfully low prices, isn't it? It just got listed on Robinhood, like I explained, so would be good. Yeah. Trump tariffs taking effect maybe November 1st. We'll see what happens there. Avantis V4 mainnet launch happening November 12. Things to look out for, right? The Aster token unlock that I mentioned. Monad airdrop claim opens October 14. That already happened. Monad, I looked into it briefly. I think it's yet to come out. I think I have it here. I do. It's up today. Crazy. Oh, but barely. Come on. It's like that meme where everything is crashing and then you see this and it's like, let's go. You know, small pump. I don't think this project has any future, to be honest. I think it was more like, let me look into it real quick. It was like a similar project to other stuff that we've already seen. I think I was discouraged by the transactions per second. It's like, okay, why are we investing in this if literally, I think SUI or Solana probably was a better one. Airdrops are coming. I guess that's the only hype around this. Layer 1 blockchain, if the EVM compatible, sure. That's literally everything else. 10,000 transactions per second. Solana does that. SUI is much better. Aptos is even better. Sonic is even better. So what's the point in investing in that, is my opinion. Coinbase SUI futures launch. Sure. Meteora token generation event. Grass token unlock, if you care about Grass token. $145 million will be flooding into the market October 28. So you better sell. We talked about Avantis and Trump tariffs. BitTensor halving event. That is bullish. Will cause supply shock. We also had the Grayscale trust application that I talked about. Part of the reason why BitTensor was on the rise that past couple of days over here, because of that Grayscale news. And a halving event coming soon. Really good. If, of course, the demand is there to keep up. Keep up the heat. Who cares about Flying Tulip? Jupiter launches a stable coin in Q4. Date is to be determined, but that would be interesting. Although I think we have too many stable coins, wouldn't you agree? And this ticker sucks. Jupe USD. Imagine seeing like BTC Jupe USD. Ugh, no, that'll be horrible to look at. It'll affect Jupiter, Camino Finance, and Pendle. Top signal cards, I think we can skip that. What else do we got? Yeah, I guess that's all. That was the main thing I wanted to show. It was the stuff with Aster and this catalyst events that's coming up soon with most of these coins. Yeah. That is all the news I have for today. I agree. Jupe is fine. It's a good good project on Solana for a decentralized exchange, right? Yeah. I don't know. What else do I have to cover? I'm just like nervous at this point because like I talked so much over here with my technical analysis. Do I just redo my technical analysis? Because it was all not talked about at all. I'll try to speed through it. Bitcoin, like I said, my entry attempt is 107,000, but we would realistically be oversold and probably bounce at 106,000 after the rest of these liquidations. So we, just watch out for potential more sideways or downward movement, especially under times of uncertainty like this. We don't know what's going to happen with China, if we are going to get those tariffs imposed November 1st. But I feel like soon, people will forget about it and will worry about it when that does come out. And, people probably hoping that Trump chickens out. Ethereum, I didn't say nice stuff about Ethereum. Let's just leave it at that. I have an order down here, but nothing much has changed. Solana, I entered Solana, X position on it. 191 is my entry price, and I plan on buying more at 172 if it does drop there. Wow, bless me. Plasma I talked about as well. Highly inflationary, don't stay in it too long, but, you know, quick scalp, not even a scalp, but just, you know, quick movement like that, and I'm out on plasma. Especially if we hit those levels, we'll probably be oversold. Hyperliquid, I have one more limit order at 35 in case we do drop there. We're at a pivot support, 36.88 currently, no big change. BitTensor kind of coming down from the big highs that it had, and I have a good entry at a major support at 300, of course. SUI, 250 right now. Still think it's really cheap is what I was saying. And 233 support, I have an entry at 238 if we do hit that. We're very close to being oversold, so if we do hit this, like, I don't know, maybe overnight, something like that, I'm hoping that this will drop this average price down to like somewhere over here, or maybe lower. I'm expecting this to be in the green soon. And I still love SUI. I still think it's genuinely good project, although, and I talked about this all the time, and I mentioned that I'll always bully SUI for dropping to 56 cents. Like, that is just pathetic and funny, but whatever. It's not going to happen again, rest assured. Chainlink, not a lot going on with it, but I have a limit order at 1673, current price 1745. I'm still a bit negative, but no big change. What did I do? I sold something, right? Oh, I talked about Solana already, but I entered Solana at 170, sold at 205, re-entered at 191. That's what I forgot to mention. And Aptos 329, I still think genuinely good entry price, even right now. We are technically oversold, but I do not plan on entering right here just yet. I went to the USDT chart to give me historical data to see how low has Aptos really gone. And from many years ago, I looked at the weekly chart. It was $3.06, because I generally don't have any more like price levels to look at after the one that we just broke down today. So had to go way far back in time for Aptos to look at any potential support levels, and I found 306. So that's probably where I'd be entering a good substantial amount on Aptos. Matter of fact, 306.50. I'll do, how much are we? Aptos, genuinely good project too, by the way. Do another 750. And because I was saying, like, we have not seen these prices ever in recent times. Not ever, but, you know. So I think it's a good idea to still enter. You're relatively safe with Aptos, and this, like I said, these liquidation events are not going to happen again. Very unlikely to happen again. I was also explaining on Bitcoin that if you look at spot charts versus derivatives charts, you don't see these crashes on the spot charts. If you literally go to Bitcoin against the US dollar, not against the stablecoin, right? Because stablecoin would mean that you're trading futures. Go to Coinbase, for instance. Give me a 4-hour chart. The big crash, we did not hit 101, 102,000. We hit 107,000 on Bitcoin, right? That's part of the reason why I averaged out some of these entries on spot charts, because I trust those more, right? As genuine verifiable data. You look at something like Binance, same deal, right? 107,485 was the low point. It was not 101, 102,000. If you do a USDT chart, we'll literally look at Binance, 102,000, right? That's what I'm saying. There's a huge price difference between derivatives charts and spot charts when it comes to Bitcoin. I'm sure you guys already know it, but when it comes to like looking for supports as to how low we dropped, 107,000 was one of those support levels. So that's why I had a trigger order there, which did not get filled. By 50 cents. No, $50, sorry. 60, whatever you want to call it. It's a shame, but whatever. I'll leave it there. I'm going to be defiant with it. Hey, I dare you to drop to 107,000. And if it does, it won't go lower than 106,000. That is a Matthew promise, okay? And I could be wrong, so don't take that as financial advice. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, anyways, thanks for sticking through it all, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new, of course. You wanted to remind you guys, of course, always to subscribe to the channel, and you don't got to leave a like, but hey, if you're down there already, just go ahead and do it. I just wanted to... My main goal here is hitting 1,000 so we could enable by then I'm likely going to have the eligibility for channel monetization. What is the... Let me find it right now. You know what? Let me go here. YouTube Studio. Earn money. Memberships. What am I going to do with memberships? What an odd subject. Eligibility. Oh, it's 500 subscribers. Okay. Oh, there you go. Get me to 500 subscribers, and what do I get from this? Super chats. Then you guys can do stream donations, I guess. Yeah. We're at 463. Hey, we're not too far off. That's actually pretty good. Oh, and one of the following. This is okay. This is the terms and conditions, the little text at the bottom of it all. I need 3,000 valid public watch hours. 3,000 hours or 3 million shorts views. I'm never going to do shorts in my life, so that's out of the park. I have 1,000 out of the 3,000 watch hours, which means I got to continue uploading more. I'm close to hitting the 500 milestone, which will be fine. But for channel monetization, that's 1,000. Continue to grow. Yeah, it's 1,000 and 4,000 valid public watch hours. Yeah, so the channel does genuinely need to grow as well. But we'll get there eventually, and yeah. Hey, maybe day stream, working from home. Hey, it's a good idea. I am still trying to also like apply for jobs and stuff around the places, but it's hard. Labor market sucks, and I don't know. But yeah, I'll see. I have to set up the whole multi-stream thing. I think you gotta like connect to a platform, and that platform will multi-stream. Some of them are paid though, is from what I researched. I don't know. I have to look into it a lot more though. But it's a possibility. We'll see. And maybe I'll enable like crypto donations, since we do mainly talk about crypto. So yeah, I'll see. But yeah. We got to keep our heads up and look optimistically toward the future. I stayed a bit over just to kind of cover what I wasn't able to discuss at the beginning, but yeah. Stocks going down, making things more sketchy. Yep. That is true. Some of them are. I'm mainly focusing on buying crypto stocks. I just discovered, this is on a complete side note, literally breaking news coming from me as the source. If you're in Canada, you can now buy MicroStrategy Canadian dollar hedged, and oh boy, are we crashing. You can buy MicroStrategy now, and also Coinbase was pretty recent. It came out August 27. It's basically like the same movement as the original New York Stock Exchange stock or NASDAQ stock, whatever it is, for these companies, but just in Canadian dollars, so that I could trade it on, you know, a tax-free savings account, not have to pay tax on it. I'm basically doing this thing where I just DCA a little bit and take profits when I have to. And of course, I'm entering, of course, you know, looking at RSI. I know stocks will always recover and do well. But yeah, I still have some entries on Apple, Adobe, Amazon, Coinbase, Meta, Microsoft, MicroStrategy, Nike, and Qualcomm. Mainly crypto stocks and tech stocks, by the looks of things, except for maybe Nike. But yeah. Cool. And of course the ETFs that we have. We do have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP ETFs available on Canadian stock exchanges, which is good. This is a pain in the ass though. The volatility index. This is an ETF version, which is kind of leveraged, I think. It's like half leveraged or something like that. It doesn't even move as much, and it's always decaying. I regret buying into it, but I'm close to maybe breaking even and getting out of here. Oh. Okay, hold on a minute. We were not here. Why did Wealthsimple change its logo to gold? What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna stay for a bit longer before I actually end the stream here, because this is insane. What just happened? Volatility index spiked 22%. Hey, at least I'm speaking of the devil. I've broken even on this, finally. But markets are closed. Yippee. That's what I love about regulated exchanges, isn't it cool? where everything just gets closed. How much profit am I at? Oh, it's barely anything. 4% profit. Today's return, though, 9% up. It's not too bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, volatility index moves up 22%. This darn ETF only goes up 9%. I don't know if it'll go up higher by the time markets open tomorrow morning. Why is... Hey, that's why we buy volatility index, though, is so that when stocks do go down, that thing goes up, you take profit on it, and you use that profit money with the capital that you take out from it again to buy the dips, right? That was kind of my mentality going into it, and I'm like, I'm going to outsmart this market. I've been DCAing all the way like this. You see how this escalator all the way downward has been going? I've been doing it since like July, August, I think. Yeah. I've been DCAing, trying to lower my average price. We've finally gone above it. This white line is my average price. So I'm barely in the green with it. Yeah, tomorrow morning when markets open, I'll be selling this and never going into it again. Because I'd rather just do things the traditional way. No volatility index. If we do get a genuinely good volatility index Canadian dollar hedged that I can trade, then yeah, for sure. Because the normal volatility index, you don't see this price decay. Volatility index will always like bottom out at a specific price. Historically proven, by the way. Oh gosh, this looks horrible. Sorry, but yeah. Like below $12, around 12, 15, whatever. That's a good price to enter because when prices spike up, you know, this happened August 5th, recession fears. This happened December. What even happened in December? This happened April 7. We all know what happened April 7 with the tariff stuff. And right now, again, tariff stuff. Things are going up again with the volatility index. This is the... When people are fearful, this thing will spike up. There's more volatility on the S&P 500, the main US market. So, yeah. Things to look out for. If I was able to trade this exact asset, this security, then, you know, life would be great and I would be making millions. But no. We cannot have things that way. Business proposal, by the way, I'm going to stay longer to talk about this. If I was to create a product of my own, like my own cryptocurrency project, I think I would make like a similar concept to the volatility index, but in crypto, and I would tokenize it on a blockchain. And this is me just completely talking out of my tiny brain cells that I have. But I don't know, maybe I'm foolish for thinking this, or maybe I'm a genius that nobody thought of this before. Make a volatility index on crypto. Yeah, crypto is already very volatile, but in time periods where we have like a huge crash like this, we would have a huge spike up like this on a crypto volatility index, because this one, the original one, measures the S&P 500. We can do the same with like, I don't know, top 100 cryptocurrencies, right? We have funds that already measure like a top 10 crypto basket, right? Of course, I'm going to have to find a way of getting rid of, you know, stable coins and such, and find a way to make things spike up somehow. I don't know if that's like holding a huge amount of the supply myself. Of course, I'm a trusted guy. I'm not going to rug pull my people, but, you know, holding that huge amount of supply to burn or mint tokens to kind of manipulate the price. Not necessarily manipulate, but have the price move in accordance to, you know, crypto volatility, right? If a huge liquidation event like that happens, my thing will spike up. When things are normal, things are hitting all-time highs, my token will, you know, stay relatively stable at a low point, ranging at a low level, right? Waiting for some major news catalyst to make things spike up. That's kind of the thing that I'm looking for. Dog with hoodie. What's an American equivalent of the volatility index? On some brokers, you can actually trade this. Not in Canada though, so that's why I can't. I don't know, you should check with your broker if you can, but there are other like ETFs that allow you to do it. But a lot of them are leveraged and they're trash. So I remember there was one, I think it's a VXXB. That's not it. Never mind. What was it? They usually change their tickers a lot as well, by the way. It's hard to find, but just look with your broker, I guess. What if they have anything that gives exposition to the volatility index. Try to make sure it's not leveraged, because I don't think you need leverage on the volatility index. There are other ones, UVIX, I think, or VIXY as well. This is 2x, for example. You don't need this kind of leverage, because with leveraged, you get these kind of price decays like that all the time. And I don't know, for volatility index is something that I plan on holding for like a long period of time, because, you know, you don't get like huge tariff news that crashes markets every week. It happens like once every quarter, right? Once every couple of months, maybe at that, right? I don't know. This will spike up due to a lot of things: trade wars, COVID, tariffs, elections sometimes. What happened here? March 2020, we all know what happened there. Pandemic. August 5th, recession fear. That was one of the bigger spikes as well. This was 2018. This was trade war with China. Literally Trump doing the same thing with the tariff stuff. 2015, nobody was born in 2015, so who cares? Speaking of 2015 as well, oh boy, I'm just going on tangent after tangent. This channel, I created it on October 20, oh boy, testing my knowledge here, 26? I think. Can I? Your channel. October 26, 2015. 10 years ago. We're on October 16, so we're 10 days away from this channel's birthday, which would be pretty cool. What will I do for it? Probably nothing. So yeah, just wanted to flex that too. Yeah, that's all, really. Okay, I should probably end stream because you guys want to leave, right? Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Anyway, that's my little business proposal. If anyone's down to work on that or find a way to make it work, or maybe I'll just solo that project with AI somehow, relying too much on AI. You could bully AI and it'll work, apparently, from what we've learned today. Yeah, so do all the good stuff, guys. Subscribe, like channel, you know, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for sticking with me. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye-bye.